Professor Zilax's emergency transmission cut through the Galactic Biology Council's quarterly meeting like a scalpel through tissue. Council members, I need immediate guidance. A human on research station Kepler 442 just opened a container with what appears to be deceased animal flesh, and she's about to consume it. The holographic projection flickered as 47 different species of students, visible in the lecture hall behind him, began chittering, clicking, and vocalizing in various frequencies of alarm. 3 of them were already moving toward the exits. "Impossible," said Counselor R. Hill from the Vegan Empire. "Professor, you know as well as I do that carbon-based humanoids from Class M planets cannot process complex animal proteins. The toxicity would cause immediate systemic failure." "I'm aware of the research, Counselor. I wrote half of it." According to YouTube analytics, 99.6% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, you'll help support the channel and never miss fresh content. Professor Zilax's triple-jointed fingers trembled as he adjusted his scanner. But the human, maintenance technician Emma Johnson is currently unwrapping what she calls a sandwich, and I'm reading actual muscle tissue from an Earth creature, cooked muscle tissue. In the background of his transmission, a human woman in a blue maintenance jumpsuit sat on a bench, completely oblivious to the panic around her. She had brown hair pulled back in a ponytail and was humming something while peeling back some kind of wrapping material. "Has anyone informed her of the danger?" demanded another council member. "She told me it's her lunch break and asked if I could keep it down because she only has 30 minutes. Zilax's voice cracked slightly. "Council, she's bringing it toward her mouth." The emergency biohazard klaxons began blaring throughout the station. Automated systems detected the presence of unprocessed animal proteins in an active consumption zone and responded according to 3 centuries of established safety protocols. Emma looked up, sandwich halfway to her mouth. Is there a fire drill or something?" "Ms. Johnson, please!" Zilax rushed toward her, his tablet displaying every warning symbol in the Galactic database. "That substance you're holding contains deadly toxins. Your humanoid physiology cannot process animal proteins without immediate fatal consequences. We need to get you to Medical Bay immediately for preventative detoxification." Emma looked at her sandwich, then at the professor, then back at her sandwich. "It's turkey and Swiss, from the deli on Earth. My mom sent me a care package last month." "Turkey?" Zilax's scanning device was shrieking now. That's a deceased avian creature?" "Well, yeah, it's lunch meat." Emma took a bite. The lecture hall erupted in chaos. Students from 12 different star systems scrambled for exits. 2 of them fainted. Professor Zilax's tablet slipped from his fingers and clattered to the floor. "She consumed it," he whispered into his still active transmission. "Council members, the human just consumed animal flesh. I'm watching her die in real time." Emma chewed thoughtfully. "This is really good. The mustard makes it. Anyone want half?" "I packed too much." She wasn't dying. She wasn't even uncomfortable. She was offering to share. "Medical emergency." Zilax slammed his hand on the emergency comm panel. "All medical personnel to Lecture Hall 7. Human in active toxicity crisis. Repeat, human consuming animal proteins." Emma swallowed her bite. "Crisis." "Dude, it's just a sandwich. What's going on?" The medical team arrived in 45 seconds, bursting through the doors with a portable decontamination field generator and enough emergency antitoxin to save a Rigelian elephant. Chief Medical Officer Jotaro led the team, his 4 arms carrying different pieces of scanning equipment. "Where's the patient?" he demanded. Emma raised her hand, still holding the sandwich. "I think he means me, but I feel fine." Jotaro's primary eyes widened, while his secondary eyes performed a rapid threat assessment scan of the room. "You're the human who consumed animal tissue?" "Consumed sounds so formal. I'm eating lunch." Emma took another bite to emphasize her point. Jataro's scanning device began emitting a sound that could only be described as electronic screaming. Her vital signs are stable? That's impossible. Scanner, run diagnostic on yourself. The scanner's fine, his assistant Vexia said quietly, checking her own device. I'm reading the same thing. Her digestive system is actively processing the animal proteins. No toxicity markers, no cellular breakdown, no immune response beyond normal digestive function. Let me see that. Jotaro grabbed the scanner and ran it over Emma 3 times. Each time the results were identical. This violates everything we know about humanoid biology. Professor Zilax, what species did you say this human consumed? She called it turkey, Zilax said weakly. He'd moved to sit down, his usual composed demeanor completely shattered. Turkey, Jotaro repeated. And what is turkey? Emma pulled out her phone. Here, I'll show you. She pulled up a picture of a live turkey, then swiped to show various turkey dishes. We eat them for holidays mostly. Thanksgiving, Christmas, that kind of thing. This is from a deli though, so it's just regular sliced turkey breast. The medical staff stared at the images in horror. You have celebrations centered around consuming specific creatures? Vexia's voice was faint. Oh, sure. Turkey for Thanksgiving, ham for Easter, hot dogs for the 4th of July. What's a hot dog? Jotaro interrupted. Ground up meat in a casing, usually beef or pork. Ground up? Several species representatives who hadn't evacuated yet bolted for the exits. Emma laughed. Guys, seriously, humans have been eating meat for like millions of years. It's completely normal for us. Professor Xilax pulled himself together enough to access his 300-year-old research files. No, this is impossible. Look. He projected a massive document into the air between them. Dr. Kavin's seminal work on humanoid digestion, published 287 years ago. Class M planet humanoids evolved as obligate herbivores. The presence of certain enzymes required for breaking down complex animal proteins is impossible in species with your skeletal structure and organ configuration. Well, I have those enzymes, Emma said cheerfully. Want me to spit in a cup so you can test? The collective recoil from every alien in the room was almost synchronized. I'll take that as a no. Emma reached into her lunchbox again. Oh, good. I also packed beef jerky. Beef? Zilax's voice went up an octave. That's from a completely different animal? Yeah, cows, big, four-legged mammals. We make burgers out of them too, and steaks, and roasts. Emma tore open the jerky package with her teeth, a gesture that made 3 more students flee the lecture hall. Station Commander Dirax's voice boomed over the intercom. This is Commander Dirax. All personnel in Sector 7 are to evacuate immediately. Medical quarantine protocols are now in effect. This is not a drill. Emma looked around at the chaos she'd apparently created. Can I at least finish my lunch first? I'm really hungry, and I only get 30 minutes for break. The recycling system in Sector 12 isn't going to fix itself. Jotaro ran every toxicity scan in the Galactic medical database. Then he ran them again. Then he called in specialists from 3 neighboring systems and had them run the scans a 3rd time. Emma sat patiently on the exam table, finishing her sandwich and starting on an apple she'd packed. The beef jerky was already gone. Her stomach acid, Jotaro said quietly to Professor Zilax, has a pH level that would dissolve most biological scanning equipment. That's impossible. I tested it 4 times. Her digestive system operates at a temperature and acidity level that should denature proteins before they can be absorbed. Instead, she's somehow using that extreme environment to break down the animal tissue into usable nutrients. Zilax pulled up more research files, his movements growing more frantic. But the enzyme structures required for processing animal fats and proteins, they don't exist in humanoid species. The evolutionary pathway isn't there. We've documented 14 different humanoid species from Class M planets, and all of them are herbivorous. I hate to break it to you, Emma said, crunching her apple, but humans definitely aren't herbivores. We're omnivores. We eat plants and animals, and fungi, and pretty much anything that doesn't eat us first. The Galactic Biology Council's emergency session convened in holographic form, surrounding the medical bay. 43 of the galaxy's leading xenobiologists materialized, all wanting to see the impossible human who was violating 3 centuries of established science. Senior xenobiologist Azila from the core worlds appeared last, her reputation preceding her. She'd written the definitive text on comparative humanoid biology. Let me examine the creature? She's not a creature, Emma said. I'm a person. Emma, nice to meet you. Azila ignored the greeting and began her own scans. Her expression shifted from confident to confused to concerned in the span of 30 seconds. This is Professor Zylax. Your research is correct. By all established biological principles, this human should be dead. Her digestive system is producing enzymes that shouldn't exist. She's processing proteins through a metabolic pathway that violates known biochemistry. Thank you, Zylax gestured emphatically. Finally, someone who understands. However, Azila continued, she's clearly not dead, which means our understanding of humanoid biology is fundamentally flawed. The silence that followed was deafening. Emma raised her hand. Can I ask a question? What? Jotaro snapped, his stress levels clearly maxed out. What do you all eat? Plant matter, obviously, Zylax said. Fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, everything necessary for proper humanoid nutrition from botanical sources. And you've never eaten meat? Why would we poison ourselves? Vexia asked. Emma pulled out her phone again. Okay, let me show you something. She opened a web browser and pulled up a random restaurant website from Earth. This is just one restaurant, in one city, on Earth. She scrolled through the menu. Steak, chicken, pork chops, lamb, duck, fish, so much fish, shrimp, lobster, crab. Those are all deceased creatures, Azila said slowly. Yep, and this is just one restaurant. There are thousands in every city, millions across the planet. Emma switched to a grocery store website. And here's where regular people buy food. See? Entire sections dedicated to meat, beef, pork, chicken, turkey, fish, exotic meats. Exotic? Jotaro's voice was weak. Oh yeah, some people eat alligator, ostrich, venison, that's deer, bison, elk, wild boar. Emma scrolled enthusiastically. Oh, and there's the international section. You've got people eating everything from crickets to urchins to... Stop, Professor Zylax commanded. He sat down heavily. You're telling me that humans have built an entire civilization on consuming other living creatures? Not entirely. We eat plenty of plants too. But yeah, meat's a big part of most human diets. Emma looked around at their horrified faces. Is this seriously not normal? What about other species? Other species are civilized, Zylax said. We evolved past the need to consume our fellow creatures. Or maybe you never evolved the ability to in the first place, Emma suggested. Look, I'm not a scientist, but it sounds like you guys assumed all humanoids were like you. That's kind of a limited sample size, isn't it? The assembled xenobiologists looked at each other. 300 years of research, thousands of published papers, entire careers built on the fundamental understanding of humanoid biology as obligate herbivory. And one human with a turkey sandwich had just demolished all of it. Azila spent 6 hours examining Emma, running every test in the medical database and inventing a few new ones. Emma cooperated patiently, though she did complain when she missed her dinner break. Here's what I've found, Azila announced to the assembled council members. The human digestive system is unlike anything we've documented in humanoid species. Her stomach produces hydrochloric acid at concentrations that would be lethal to most species. Her body temperature operates at a level that facilitates rapid protein breakdown. She possesses enzymatic structures we've never seen before, specifically designed to process both plant and animal matter with equal efficiency. But how? Zilax asked. The evolutionary pathway is different from ours, Azila interrupted. Professor, we made an assumption based on limited data. We studied 14 humanoid species, all from similar evolutionary environments. All of them evolved as herbivores. We extrapolated that all humanoids must follow the same pattern. That's basic scientific methodology, Zilax protested. It's also bad science when you ignore contradictory evidence. Azila gestured to Emma, who was currently eating a protein bar she'd found in her jumpsuit pocket. Humans evolved differently. Their planet, Earth, apparently favored omnivorous development. They can process both plant and animal matter because their evolutionary environment required it. Emma swallowed her bite of protein bar. Can I add something? Please, Azila said tiredly. Humans are actually kind of extreme, even by Earth standards. We've got persistence hunting. We can literally chase prey until it collapses from exhaustion. We sweat, which most predators don't do, so we can regulate temperature better during long pursuits. We can eat things that are toxic to other species because we built up tolerances. We domesticated wolves into dogs and used them to hunt with us. We invented cooking, which makes meat even easier to digest and kills parasites. Emma ticked off points on her fingers. Oh, and we can heal from injuries that would kill most predators, and we can eat meat that started to decay if we cook it properly. We're basically biological nightmares from a prey species perspective. The medical bay was completely silent. You hunt other creatures? Vexia whispered. Used to, mostly. Now we farm them, raise them specifically for food. Emma saw their expressions. Is that worse? I feel like that might be worse to you guys. You're describing systematic cultivation of life for the purpose of consumption, Jotaro said. That's efficient? Emma offered. Yeah, we're really good at it. Humans are excellent at adapting and optimizing. It's kind of our thing. Professor Xilax pulled up his life's work, 40 years of research on humanoid biology, and stared at it. I need to retract everything. Every paper, every conclusion, every textbook citation. Not everything, Azila corrected. Your work on the 14 species you studied is still valid. You just need to add a caveat. This applies to known herbivorous humanoids, not all humanoids. There's a category of humanoids that hunt and consume other creatures, Xilax said numbly. We need to reclassify everything. Oh, Emma perked up. Before you do that, I should mention, humans also eat spicy food. What's spicy? Jotaro asked warily. Plants that produce chemical compounds to deter creatures from eating them. Capsaicin mostly. Burns like crazy. We love it. You consume plant-based poison for enjoyment? Yeah, we make competitions out of it. See who can eat the spiciest peppers. Emma grinned. Some of them can hospitalize you if you're not careful. Azila put her head in her hands. What else? What else do humans consume that should be impossible? Emma thought about it. Well, there's alcohol, which is technically poisonous. Coffee and tea have stimulant compounds that are toxic in high doses. We eat fermented foods, that's controlled bacterial decay. We eat mushrooms, which are fungus. We eat cheese, which is also controlled bacterial action on milk proteins. We eat eggs, which are unfertilized reproductive cells from birds. We eat— Enough! Several council members shouted simultaneously. Okay, Emma held up her hands. Look, the point is, humans are adaptable. We evolved to eat basically anything that wouldn't immediately kill us. It's how we survived and spread across our entire planet. This changes everything, Xilax said quietly. The textbooks, the classification systems, the dietary guidelines for humanoid species and galactic stations. Speaking of which, Emma said, does the station cafeteria have hot sauce? Because if I'm stuck here much longer, I'm going to want something with actual flavor. The emergency directive from the Galactic Biology Council went out to every research station, university, and medical facility in known space within 8 hours. Revision to humanoid classification protocols. Species designation human from planet Earth does not conform to established humanoid dietary patterns. Do not assume dietary restrictions. Humans are capable of consuming both plant and animal matter. Approach nutritional planning with extreme caution. Professor Zillax stared at his now infamous lecture hall, empty except for a few brave students who'd returned to hear his revised presentation. Today, we begin what I'm calling the New Paradigm Lectures. Everything I taught you last semester about humanoid biology requires significant modification. He pulled up Emma's metabolic scans. Humans possess what we're now classifying as an aggressive omnivorous system. Their bodies are designed to extract nutrition from an unprecedented variety of sources. This suggests an evolutionary environment far more demanding than we've previously documented. One of the students, a young Kael'thas, raised a tentacle. Professor, does this mean other undiscovered humanoid species might also be omnivorous? That's precisely what it means. We can no longer make assumptions based on limited data. We need to approach each species as unique until proven otherwise. Zillax looked older somehow, humbled by the revelation. This human, Emma Johnson, a maintenance technician, has single-handedly overturned 3 centuries of xenobiological research, simply by eating her lunch. Meanwhile, in the station cafeteria, Emma sat with Jotaro and Vexia, who'd gotten brave enough to join her for dinner. "So you're telling me," Jotaro said, watching Emma eat what she called a cheeseburger from her personal supply, "that humans actively seek out foods that challenge their digestive systems?" "Pretty much. The more challenging, the better, sometimes." Emma squeezed a packet of hot sauce onto her burger. "Life's too short for boring food." "Your species' relationship with food is genuinely concerning," Vexia said. "Says the species that's never tried barbecue." Emma took a bite and sighed happily. "This is good. Not as good as fresh, but you can't beat a properly seasoned burger." "The creature you're consuming was seasoned?" Jotaro asked. "The beef, yeah. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Then the cheese, that's dairy product, made from cow milk. The vegetables add texture. The sauce adds acid and sweetness. It's all about balance." "Your species has developed an entire philosophy around consuming other creatures," Vexia observed. "Multiple philosophies, actually. Different cultures have different approaches. That's what makes human food so diverse." Emma wiped her mouth. "Hey, speaking of which, when's the next supply ship from Earth?" "I'm running low, and I've got 6 more months on this station." 3 weeks, Jotaro said. "I've already submitted a medical request to expand the human dietary storage facilities." "Awesome. I'm putting in an order for proper spices. This station needs flavor." Emma finished her burger and stood up. "All right, I've got to get back to work. That recycling system in Sector 12 is still broken." "You're going back to work?" Vexia asked. "After causing a galaxy-wide scientific crisis?" Emma laughed. "I didn't cause anything. You guys just made some wrong assumptions. Besides, someone's got to keep the station running, and I'm on shift until 1800 hours. She grabbed her lunchbox, now empty, and headed for the door. "See you guys tomorrow. If anyone asks, tell them humans are friendly. We're just culinarily adventurous." After she left, Jotaro and Vexia sat in silence. "Did we just witness the most understated paradigm shift in galactic scientific history?" Vexia asked. "Yes," Jotaro said. "Yes, we did." In the high council chambers of the Galactic Biology Institute, Azila presented her final report to the assembled leadership. In conclusion, humanity represents an unprecedented variation in humanoid evolution. I recommend immediate establishment of a dedicated human studies department, increased cultural exchange programs, and significant revision of our xenobiology curriculum. "How significant?" asked the council chair. We need to rewrite approximately 30% of existing humanoid biology texts, Azila said, and we need to acknowledge that our understanding of evolutionary possibilities is more limited than we believed. Because of a sandwich, the council chair said flatly. Because we stopped questioning our assumptions, Azila corrected. The human and her sandwich simply exposed our intellectual laziness. The council approved the changes unanimously. Back on research station Kepler 442, Emma hummed while repairing the recycling system's main compressor, her hands covered in grease, completely unaware that she'd become the most important test subject in contemporary xenobiology. She just wanted to eat her lunch in peace. Tomorrow, she'd bring the leftover pizza. That was going to be another interesting conversation.